Hey everyone, I'm Kristy Bushaw with RE/MAX Paradise. Welcome back. It's Wisdom Wednesday. This is where I help you try to enjoy more life as you live along the Alabama and Florida Gulf Coast. Today we're covering something every coastal homeowner needs to understand. It's insurance. It's not glamorous, but it's so essential. Along the Alabama and Florida Gulf Coast, we live near the water, and that means you're surrounded by beauty and risk. Let's talk about what your policy really means, what it doesn't cover, and how to protect your peace of mind before the next storm season, which is June through November. And it's important to be prepared. So here on the Gulf Coast, insurance works differently than in inland locations. You don't just have one policy. Here you usually have three: homeowners, wind, and flood. Each policy has its own coverage, its own deductible, and its own fine print. If you only carry homeowners insurance, you may not be protected against two of the biggest threats here along the coast we face, which are wind and flood. So be sure to read the fine print. Now let's talk about your homeowners policy. It covers fire, theft, and some interior water damage. It also covers liability if someone injures themselves on your property. But coastal policies often exclude wind and surge. That's why most people add a separate coverage for these perils. So step one, review your policy. Know exactly what it covers and what it doesn't. You know, it's very important to review our policies annually. Sometimes, as we approach the new year, may be a good time for you and your family. If you're south of the intercoastal, there's a good chance your standard policy excludes wind. You'll need a separate windstorm policy, often through the Alabama Insurance Underwriters Association or a private carrier. Wind coverage protects your roof, siding, and windows. If your roof meets the fortification standards, you can save significantly on these premiums. It's one of the smartest improvements for a coastal home. If your home was not built gold fortified, the highest you can get your roof is silver. Let me know if you need more information on that. Back to flood insurance. It's the most misunderstood policy. It covers water that comes from the outside and rises up during a surge and overflow. It's not part of your homeowner's policy. It must be purchased separately. If you're in an AE or a VE zone with a mortgage, your lender will require it, but not an X. I say an AE is averagely expensive, a VE is very expensive, and an X means you don't need one. FEMA disaster aid is not insurance. It's usually a loan. So it's real important to understand your flood policy. Hurricane deductibles are percentages based upon usually 2%, 3%, sometimes even 5% of your insured value. If your home is insured for $600,000 with a 5% deductible, you'll pay $30,000 out of pocket before insurance even kicks in. Know your numbers. A higher deductible means lower premiums, but also means more responsibility after a storm, which we all know means headaches, decision-making with a lot of emotion. But you know yourself, so just review your policies annually. A client in Gulf Shores thought she was fully covered. After a hurricane, her main house was repaired, but her pier, her pool, her equipment they weren't covered. Why do you think? Well, they weren't listed on the separate policies as structures. That oversight cost her tens of thousands out of pocket. Always list every detached structure, piers, sheds, cottages, pool houses. It's very important to list all of those on each policy when you live south of the intercoastal. Assuming flood coverage is included, and it's just not. Forgetting to list outbuildings and improvements, and letting coverage auto-renew without reviewing, not keeping updated photos or videos, failing to update your coverage after remodeling. All these can be stopped and made sure to happen before headaches happen, just with a quick review on an annual basis. Cost-saving tips. Let's talk about those. Ask about roof and wind mitigation credits. A fortified inspection can unlock these discounts. Bundle home, auto, and flood policies. Install shutters, hurricane straps, or reinforced garage doors. Update your elevation certificate. Work with local agents who understand our coastal risk and the coastal environment. Now let's talk about if you own a condominium or a house, and how does insurance really change? So with a house, you own the entire structure, so you need to insure the entire structure. Land, belongings, roof, floor, the entire structure. When you own a condo, your coverage depends on the association's master policy. There are two main types: bare walls and all in. Now, bare walls covers only the building's frame and common areas. You must insure everything inside: your flooring, your cabinets, and your fixtures. All in interior finishes, but you still need your own HO6 policy for contents and liability. Always request a copy of the condominium's master policy and make sure your personal coverage fills the gaps. Confirm whether flood insurance is included. If not, add it to yours. Hurricane season, as I said before, begins June 1st. So reviewing your coverages early, checking your deductible amounts, storing digital copies of policies and receipts, and updating your photos are real important things to do. Flood coverage takes 30 days to activate. Don't wait until a storm forms. Preparation protects your peace of mind, and we all know that life has a bunch of stuff that happens. So be prepared. At the end of the day, insurance isn't just paperwork. It is absolutely peace of mind. Living here along the Gulf Coast is a dream. Sunsets, families, communities. Protect your home so you can keep enjoying more life along Alabama and Florida's Gulf Coast. I am Kristy Bushaw with RE/MAX Paradise, and this has been another Wisdom Wednesday. See you next week.